People who don't have a mental voice, like you can't hear yourself think, how is that possible? I don't have a mental voice, and I didn't even know people did until I was 16. I was in class, and the teacher asked us to read a passage in our heads. After a few minutes, he asked if we were all done, and I said no. Everyone looked at me like I was crazy. I explained that I couldn't read it in my head, and they were all shocked. The teacher asked me to read it out loud, and I did. He then asked me to try reading it in my head again, and I couldn't. He was genuinely interested and asked me a bunch of questions. He asked me to close my eyes and imagine a beach. I did, and he asked me what I saw. I described the beach, the sand, the water, and the sky. He then asked me if I could hear the waves, and I said no. He asked me if I could feel the sand, and I said no. He asked me if I could smell the ocean, and I said no. He then asked me how I knew it was a beach, and I said I could see it. He was amazed and said he had never met anyone who couldn't hear their own thoughts. He asked me if I could hear music in my head, and I said no. He asked me if I could hear my own voice in my head, and I said no. He asked me if I could hear other people's voices in my head, and I said no. He then asked me how I thought, and I said I just knew things.